Welcome back to yet another episode of the Storytime with Sam and Seige podcast. I'm your host, Seige.
And I'm Sam.
What do we want to talk about today?
I mean, I guess we can talk about our run-ins with the law.
I'm sure you have way more than me, that's for sure.
Yeah, the federals.
The feds?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. I mean, my first encounter with the federals was... I think I was 16 years old.
But they're not the federals if it's state, though.
Hey, bro, I ran in with the federals.
Oh, FBI?
FBI, man, they always get me. Yes, I was 16 years old. I was going, let's see, like 55 and like 56 maybe in a 45. Something like that. And then two black SUVs pulled up and threw road spikes in front of my car. The road spikes. Ran off the side of the road. And then like 4 agents got out of the car and they're like, freeze. And you know me, I was 16 years old. I didn't know what was going on.
So you got shot at, right?
And yeah, they started shooting at my car. But luckily, the Highlander has bulletproof windows. And I turned out to be okay. And then they just got back in their car and left.
You've got an awfully weird scar in the front of your head, though.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like a bullet wound. I don't know. But see, what actually happened was I was 16 years old coming through Abingdon. And, I was speeding a little bit. And then I guess I passed the cop. The cop pulled me over. And
was you in Abingdon or Damascus? Because they're all the time in Damascus.
I was close to Damascus, but not yet. So I was still in Abingdon technically. But yeah, he was like, hey, man, you're going like I don't know, 8 over the speed limit. But he said, since I was 16 years old, just got my license, he was going to let me off because he didn't want my insurance to go up. So, thank you, man.
Oh, yeah. Wait, you was 16. So what year would that have been? 2018?
Probably so.
He just didn't want to, be in the news.
Yeah, he didn't want to be in the news. But, I'm basically white. Wouldn't have been much news. But yeah, he let me off. Nice guy. So yeah, that was my first encounter.
What's been your worst? Your first and your worst?
Oh man, my worst. Well, I've had a few. Thinking of the Christmas tree is my worst, but I don't feel like that was my worst. So my worst, me and our Spanish friend, Jay.
He's not Spanish though, he's Mexican.
Oh, that's true. And our other friend,
Spanish speaking.
Well, actually, it was me, Jay, Stacy, Dalton. So we went to the movies. I don't know what we went to go watch in Abingdon, but we watched it, and then it was late, so we dropped gear off. I was driving, and then there were still the 3 of us. Well, we were like, well, what can we get in at 11 o'clock at night, And we were just like cruising around, looking for some things to get into, as just young boys do. And, we found a certain person's mailbox.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember this.
Just disliked him, and
you ever hear about the hit a lick on a mailbox, right?
Right, and we do it like we just plain dent the mailbox, nothing criminal.
What, you have a baseball bat or something?
Yeah, we had a baseball bat, dude. And
it was plastic, right?
Oh, no, this was a metal one. But anyways, we hit this mailbox. We didn't think it was gonna come off or anything, but it came off. And so we're like, well, we can't just leave this in the street, So we get the mailbox, we take off. And I'm like, guys, there's mail in there.
And they're like, you committed a federal crime.
They're like, oh yeah. So we go and we put the mail in a different mailbox because we didn't want to steal mail. We weren't that bad. And we put some mail in a different mailbox and we take off. Well, as I'm going, we passed the police officer. And I have no reason to get pulled over, but he was feeling froggy that night. So he turns on his headlight, starts following me up, and I'm like, uh-oh. Because at the time I had dead tags.
And you were speeding, I'm sure.
No, I wasn't speeding because I had a mailbox in my back seat and a baseball bat. So he gets right up close to me, man. And I'm like, well, guys, I got dead tags, right? So we're about to get pulled over.
You riding dirty.
Mm-hmm. So I take some back road, and just the hopes that he wouldn't.
Yeah, you can't juke him out.
Yeah. Sure enough, as soon as I hit that back road, blue lights. I'm like, oh, well, I'll pull over. He goes through the window, shines his flashlight.
Oh, man.
At the time, I had 8 air fresheners up there.
Oh. No.
So he's like, what are you guys up to tonight? And I'm like, just got back from a movie, But I'm sketching out because I have a mailbox and a baseball bat in my back seat.
I'm sure he saw it.
Oh, but my windows were kind of tinted back there, so we didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
And I told Jay to like throw a jacket over it. So he did that, and he's like, I'm gonna ask you one time, do you have anything illegal in the car? And I was like, I'm like, no. He goes, okay, just I had to ask because most people that, have someone in the car have like a bunch of air fresheners. I was like, oh yeah. And he goes, well, the reason I pulled you over was because you have dead tags and they were like a month overdue. Yeah. So no, it wasn't bad. He's like, I'm gonna let you off though. I was like, shoo, thank you, man. Have a good night. And that was pretty much that. I dropped the rest of them off, took the mailbox, chucked away up in the woods where I used to live. And yeah, that was it, bro.
Oh, man.
Like mom and dad figured it out eventually. They weren't like mad. We had a talking to, of course. But like, boys will be boys.
No, I thought you said old came after you.
Oh, that was a different night, bro.
How many times you go after that same mailbox?
Well, we succeeded the first time. We came back a second time, like I guess maybe it was this year. I'd say probably like springtime, like
2021.
Mm-hmm. And Jay just drove by the mailbox like 2 or 3 times, and sure enough, comes flying down the hill. I'm like, Jay, go. He's like, what, dude? And then I'm like, look. He goes, oh crap! So we take off in his Jeep, bro.
Jay driving.
Heck yeah. We take off in his Jeep, bro, and flying through corners and stuff, and he just quit chasing us. I was like, shoo. Like we didn't do anything illegal or anything. We thought about it.
Well, if you went up and down that road about 5 times,
that's true.
I'd be willing to say they probably thought about it.
Might have been hazing, but yeah. I mean, what you got?
I can't really top that. I mean, I've been lucky not to get really pulled over. There was one night they had been having like a sobriety check or whatever down there, at the bottom of the newer road.
Oh yeah,
but it was only till like 10 o'clock, and like it was like 10 o'clock when I got there. July, August, maybe.
Oh, so like this last
2021. It was a while back. So anyways, it might have been September. I don't know, dude. It was a Friday. Anyways, so I'm coming back through and they're just waving everybody through. Like, I mean, literally, like I was, getting ready to stop, but like you said, it was like after time, they're just waving everybody through. So I'm like, okay, cool. You would think you'd catch more drunks later, but whatever,
yeah,
I guess.
That's how it is.
Yeah, so of course I'm going on and I got down there by the masonry supply store, and there's a sheriff's deputy down there on the side of the road.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had been he might have, there was another car there. He might have just stopped them and, kind of just like drove around them just to sit there, catch their next victim, right?
Yeah.
And so, I had my lights on bright, so I dimmed them. I was trying to be nice, didn't want to blind them when I went by him.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, he peels out right behind me. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And I get down the road, I get by, that church, just down the road from there. And all of a sudden I get blue lights. I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm like slowing down because, I thought he needed to get around me.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like this SUV in front of me, like down the road, and it just kept getting slower and slower. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to like get out of your way.
Yeah.
And then it turns its lights on.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, I'm getting boxed in the middle of the road. Like I was slowing down, trying to find a place to
shady.
stop. Yeah, I'm like, what is going on, dude? I'm just sitting there, I went ahead, cracked my window, did not put on some NWA.
Some gospel music turns it on.
Yeah, I was just sitting there. I'm like, oh, great, what's going on?
Yep.
So guy walks up to me. I can't remember which one it was. He walks up to me and he's like, hey, I just want to let you know you've got a headlight out. I'm like, what?
All that for a headlight.
I'm like, you thought, now maybe they were looking for a 2008 Ford Edge that night.
Yeah.
Murdered somebody, but I'm just like, all this for a headlight?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, which one? He's like, your driver's side. And I just replaced the tail light.
Oh,
like
man.
That week, or the week before, I just replaced the tail light. I'm like, man, I literally just replaced the tail light.
That's how it goes.
He's just like, yeah, he's like, just want to let you know that. And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one in front of me just like looped back around and go sit in that church parking lot. And I was like, you all stopped me in the middle of the road for a headlight.
Bro, they get bored, man. That's what it is. Good times though. They make good stories.
Let's hear about the tree real quick though.
All right.
If that won't self-incriminate.
No, I got you. So whenever we started college, made some new friends. Kinda. Like me and Isaiah were like, well, we obviously went to school together, but then we met 2 other people, and then like we all started hanging out. But one night, we just hung out, and it was like around winter time. It's like the Christmas tree lights.
It's
up.
like late November, early December.
Yeah, like the Merry Christmas sign up in like Elizabeth was up.
Yeah.
And like a lot of people go up there, you know, like yes, technically it's trespassing because it's like government property, but like, you know, like it's not somebody's property that, you know, wants to keep it private. It's just like the state's property. So we go up there and, you know, don't do anything wrong. We just walk up there to see the lights.
Taking pictures of the lights, looking down on the city, on the town.
Yeah, it's a great view. And anyways, so like down where we had to park the car, there was like apartments down there. And I guess somebody from those apartments like called and said like, yo, there's like, you know, 4 people up there and they're like busting out the Christmas tree lights. I'm like, you know, first of all, you know, we were not doing that. We were just looking around. Yeah. So we get back down there. We're about like, you know, 3/4 of the way down. I'm like, guys, there's like 2 cop SUVs like surrounding the car.
Literally the feds because you're on government land now.
Yeah. And they were like, what? No. And then like we look and like, uh-oh, you know. And then the guy shines his light up in the woods. He's like, come on down. I was like, uh-oh. And we get down there.
You thought it was going to be the end of your life, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly. And he was like, guys, so there, we had a call. And he said, honestly, it's probably just some Karen, you know, trying to get you guys in trouble. But she said you were out there busting out lights. And there was 2 of the officers. So one of them went up and one of them stayed with us. Took our like names, phone numbers, addresses, our IDs, like everything, you know. We were sitting on the curb, like he's filling a whole report. I was like, man, this is it, you know. And the guy comes back down. He's like, listen, you know, there's one light up there that's out, but we have no way of proving that you guys did it.
And it probably wasn't even broke. It was just like not on.
Yeah. And he's like, you guys don't seem like the kids to, you know, break lights. I was like, yeah, you know, we're not. So that was pretty much that. Like he let us go after that. He said, have a nice night. But yeah, that was that. We got off.
They didn't find out about the 14 dead bodies you all just hit up there.
Man, we hit those good, bro.
Alrighty, well, anything else you can think of last minute law enforcement?
Not really. Like nothing interesting really. So
nothing interesting, but other than getting pulled over for speeding, right?
Yeah.
Did you ever get a ticket for that?
No, I've never. I've been put over a couple of times for, you know, like speeding in headlights, bro. And
oh yeah, is your headlight still out?
Fixed it.
You fixed it?
Yes.
But now you go fix the shocks.
Yep. You know, always something. But yeah, I mean, we got nice officers, you know, so they let me off. But yeah, that's good.
Alrighty, that'll wrap up this episode of the Storytime with Sam and Seige podcast.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Seige. Be sure to go give us a follow on Instagram and go check out all the links down below in the description or wherever you're checking this out at. And yeah, we're going to hopefully get some more guests on here, get some lively episodes going again. And I think that just about does it. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Alrighty, we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.